Live from MUSCM. 3 points on the board. Well, not 3 points, but we progressed in the Carabao Cup against Luton Town, and that's going to be the topic of tonight. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the MUSCM Live once again. My name is Abhishek Iyer, your host, and we're going to be joined again by Karan Rateria, my co-host tonight, and that's going to be a lot of fun. What I'm going to do, as always, is I'm just going to take a second or two to just sort of sort everything out here. Everything is sorted. And just going to put a comment saying send us a video request and join the chat live. All right, let's pin this. Once we pin this, we can get into tonight's conversation. All right. Good evening, says Adi Iyer. Someone's missing Unai Emery. Clearly, the Arsenal fans aren't missing him, so that's good. All right, guys, welcome to MUSCM Live. We are here today to to post, sort of dissect the Carabao Cup game that was the previous night against Luton Town away. We didn't do the player ratings after the game. It was really, really late. So we are going to do the player ratings and reactions starting immediately. Couple of announcements to all of you all tuning in before we start the player ratings against Luton Town. Cyan XY, if you want to join, just send us a video request, man. We'll definitely bring you on board. Couple of announcements, couple of important announcements before we get into the dissection of the game. First one being, of course, this is the MUSCM Live, so keep those video requests incoming. I will accept as many of you as I can. It'll be a lot of fun. The second thing being that, do subscribe to our official YouTube page. It's something we've just started building out. It's MUSC Mumbai. So do subscribe to our YouTube page. Help us get to the magic number of 1,000. We're just around 200 right now, so we'd love to sort of get there quickly. And finally, guys, the hunt is on. We, as the MUSCM, the Manchester United Supporters Club of Mumbai, we're looking for people to join the team and help and volunteer with social media. So there are a couple of positions open for that. Obviously, this doesn't entail any pay. We do this out of the passion and love for this club. But if you are an official United Supporters Club member, do hit us up on Instagram, DM us on Instagram if you are interested to join us as part of the social media team. All right, let's get into tonight's chat. I'm going to be joined by Karan Rateria, who's my co-host, and he's going to be joining us from our official channel partner, which is the Football Funded. So, Karan, if you're around, ideally from your personal account, like I had last mentioned, but in case you haven't seen that message, then I'll just add you from Football Funded. Okay, I can't see either, so I'll just wait a bit. Just a recap to all of you, we are going to be we're going to be doing player ratings for last night's game, which was against Luton Town. Quick couple of shout outs to some of you all. Karan, if you're on the chat, please say hi. I can't see Football Funded's or your account. Next, like I said, send us a video request. I'll be happy to bring you on. Adi Iyer looking for a DOF. That's awesome. Delvin, good to see you, man. Hi, Iyer Senior, you say. Good to see you, buddy. Football Funded says I've sent the request. Okay. Interesting. My co-host is joining us from our channel partner, Football Funded's account today. We'll just wait for him to come. There he is, Karan. You're tuning in from Chicago. Good to see you, man. How's it going?
Yes, sir. Going good.
You're lucky guy. You got to watch the game in normal human hours. We had to stay up till like 1:30 in the morning for it to start. 1 o'clock for it to start.
But the flip side is this Saturday's game is at 6 a.m. So it's quite odd.
Okay.
Maybe some early breakfast Guinness. Let's see.
Fair enough. So, Karan, we're obviously going to be talking about the game that was last night. We're going to be doing some reactions and player ratings. So how we're going to structure this is, guys, so that's Karan Rateria. He's tuning in from Chicago, and I don't think he'll be able to spend too much time with us. He's promised 15 minutes at the very least. So, Karan, what we're going to do is, I'm going to start with reactions first, and we'll keep player ratings for maybe slightly later. Yeah. Here's what my top 3 things were from last night, right? What's made me most happy and most sad about last night. First up, the result. It could have so easily have been one of those shady, we would have lost away to Luton. At least that was the sentiment, right? Like we could have lost and the narrative wouldn't have changed. We would have been even more angrier today. We would have been more pissed off. We would have continued with, get out, the board doesn't back. All he needs help. None of that's really changed, but at least, something. 3-0 away.
Yeah.
My second thing, Karan, is I felt squad depth was really tested last night. I think Oli made a statement. We don't have squad depth. I think it was very evident. We'll talk about that in detail as we get into it. And my third thing was I'm very happy to have seen Pogba, Shaw, and Martial get a full rest. I don't think they even traveled. So what was your reaction to the game?
Yeah, man. I think as you said, it's the reaction today could have been two completely different things. It could have easily been all of those bad ones, especially when Henderson had to make that save. If that had gone in, if Bai hadn't cleared the goal line, it was 1-1 then. And it would have been a complete different thing. Or even if we just won 1-0, thanks to a Mata
Yeah,
penalty, still we would have been like, oh my God, dude, what is happening?
true.
But 10 minutes of three substitutions has changed the entire way we view the game. Suddenly it was like, okay, you know what? There was some free flowing football here and there. Oh, it was decent.
Yeah,
It wasn't that bad or whatever. But
yeah.
I think largely it still shouldn't change. The combination still, as you said, Ole still made a statement saying that we still don't have that squad depth. It was only Luton Town at the end of the day. Come on. I mean, 3-0 should have been the bare minimum, regardless of who was on that pitch, right? And it wasn't that it was a third team on the pitch, it was the second team on the pitch. For that was our bench players on the field. We did have the likes of Van de Beek on there. So, hey, still a lot of work to be done for this season. I'm not going to go crazy of anything after last night's result.
Almost like bare minimum. United Star
But,
make an interesting comment, Karan. They say, I know it's a bit tongue in cheek, but they say if there was a crowd, could we have lost?
oh God, no man, our away fans, if anything would have helped this team maybe wake up till the 75th minute
True,
and do
true,
something.
true. Vaibhav Jaju tunes in. He says we need more depth. Vaibhav, that was a point that I touched upon. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about depth because those are I think the overarching sort of takeaway from the entire game was that God, we don't have a second string team that can even compete against Luton Town, man. And Luton Town are what? Not even championship, if I'm mistaken, right?
Yeah, I mean it's pathetic. And yesterday's game, I mean, was so underwhelming. Even just going into it, like just the sentiment around it. Like generally, I would have read up on Luton Town, who their best players are, how they're performing, what their streaks are, this that. I would have done all that.
You did
Yesterday,
no
I just
such thing.
couldn't. I had no interest. I was like, you know what, United are playing, so I have to watch it. So I just watched it for the sake of it. In
Yeah.
general, though, I'm just so unconvinced right now. Uh, yeah, bare minimum, underwhelming. No squad. That team should. I mean, if you think about it, the players on the field yesterday for us, they should be a championship winning team, yes, or
Yeah.
a mid-table Premier League team, and they couldn't do anything against Luton Town. So that's just
True.
how it is. But hey, we were through to the next round. I guess job done in that sense. And in the end, when
True.
the three subs came out, they performed well. Couple of good performances as well. So hey, I guess can't complain much.
Koti 02, Rohan Kotwal, our friend says
Yeah.
this was Luton's second string side, by the way.
Oh
Right.
man, yeah,
So a couple
dude,
of
that sums it
positives
up.
though to look at. And when I say positives, I mean not just in terms of performances, but in terms of incidents in themselves. So
Yeah,
debut for Dean Henderson, man. How did you feel about that? And what did you make of his performance last night?
brilliant man. Didn't have to come in to do much, but when he was called upon, one that save was brilliant. But the other thing that really stood out to me was his patience on the ball and his confidence when he had the ball on his feet. There was one moment
Yeah,
I remember in particular in the second half. He had the ball on his feet. He was crowded down like because it was a last second ball, like not very confident. Comfortably just dummied past the player and then moved the ball on to a very good potential break.
yeah,
So overall, I think great debut. People look at that just that one save, which was a massive save. Like it was such an
yeah,
amazing save.
yeah.
But also apart from that, I think he was solid. And his tweet afterwards, it really warmed my heart. He just came out like a dream come true. Like we all know
True.
that how he's been
He's
so
a United
vocal and
boy through
wanting
and
to.
through, isn't
Yeah,
he?
exactly. And
And
to
that's what
see
you
him
want to
do that,
see.
brilliant.
I think you made a very super point indirectly, man. I think at the end of the day, what also makes fans like us happy is when you see players playing for this team, not so directly for the wages. You could see someone playing because, dude, it means so much to him. And this is something Evra said in that rant of his, right? He's like, play for the jersey, guys. Play because you love this club. You understand the legacy of this club. You understand the passion of this club. Play because it means something to you.
Yep.
Don't play because of your bank account getting richer by X £100,000 at the end of the week. And I think Dean Henderson serves that for us, bro.
100%, man, because he could be at any club in the world right now being the first choice keeper. When I mean any, obviously slightly tongue in cheek, maybe a couple of clubs not. In the
Sure.
Premier League, he could be starting for a lot of clubs. He could be playing Champions League first keeper for a lot of clubs. but he's used to be second at United because he just wants to make it at United, and he's going to push Dea for that. And to see that is brilliant, dude. It's great, and we have some other players doing that as well now. That's sort of change I think Oli is bringing in as well, and that's something I'm looking at. But obviously, without going too much in the conversation, there needs to be support towards Oli to do that as well.
True, true. And speaking of De Gea, good to see him get a rest as well. I'm just going to read a couple of comments and then let's get into player ratings. Chat, as always, join us for the player ratings. Whenever I say the player's name, Kern and I are going to make this fun. So we're going to give our rating first and maybe just a line to justify, right? So we're not going to go too much. Instead of us justifying too much, we're going to actually delve a lot more into your comments today. So whatever your ratings are, as always, accompanied by a couple of words or a line so that we understand why you're giving the rating. And we'll be happy to give you guys shout outs and actually discuss that. Fair, Kar?
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good.
Superb. So I'm just going to read those comments before we start. Aman Jagda says, welcome back, Aman Jagda. He says, imagine watching that game and waking up for college at 7 a.m. Oh, God. If anything, Aman, to be honest, I slept in the middle, got up. I had one of those games because it was just so bad. Aman, if anything, they killed your sleep because the last 10 minutes was phenomenal.
Yeah, man. It's annoying when that happens for sure. Then you're like, oh shit, that was good, that was good. Otherwise, you're like, okay, I can't wait for this to get done and just hit the bed. And now you're like, oh, what do I look forward to for this weekend?
Aniket Senpai says, Mata was actually good. Aniket_7 says, if only Mata was 10 years younger, he's the master of creating space. Guys, I'm going to come to Mata and I have a completely different point of view on Juan Mata from last night. I'll come to it. Ankit Senpai also says Van de Beek was impressive. Atharva Joshi, welcome back, says confidence booster for Rashford. Yes, we will talk about that. And finally, Red Devil Nair says, good to see you, Abhi and Kern. Good to see you too, buddy, on the chat. And hopefully we'll get you on later. Pratik Krilan says, any news on Teles or Sancho? Guys, we're not going to be too much into transfers unless we really have the time at the end. But let's get into player ratings. I'm going to repeat the drill. Give us your ratings with the players. I'm going to name the player, give us the rating. And when you give us the rating, accompany, maybe if it's accompanied by a few words or a line to justify, that would be awesome. So, Kurt, let's start with goalkeeper Fantastico, Dean Henderson, who you and I were just talking about. What would you give him?
8, solid 8. Didn't put a foot wrong. Yeah.
Impressive. So 8 on his debut for United is all that you really want to be getting, right, as a player. I'm going to give him a 7. I thought, again, superb. I just felt he wasn't tested enough for an 8. You know, if he had made a save, but if he was really sort of put through the paces, made some, killer saves, I would have given him that 8, 9. Also because I thought he was very vocal, man, and I like to see that in goalkeepers. I keep telling you, right? Advantageous position, being the goalkeeper, very vocal. Take it away, man. What are some of the comments saying? If you can read them.
I think most of people are doing 8, 9, 9.5. They're sort of on the higher side. Prashant agrees with you on the 7. Didn't have much to do. That's why on the 7. But I think also Pratik says because it means a lot to play for United. Yeah, man. I'm just really happy for the guy. As you said, he was also vocal. He didn't have just like a timid debut. He's like, you know what, I'm going to own this spot. And that was brilliant to see.
Satam agreeing with you and I, giving him a 7.5, which is neither you nor me. I like what Vaibhav Jaju says because he kind of echoes my larger sentiment, which is I'll give him a 7 because it's a typical rating for a keeper when the defense is good. And we'll come to defense, of course, after this. Yeah. Dave Jr. says 8.5, 2 great instinctive saves. I remember 1. What was the second one? Was it the same one?
Yeah, even I remember 1 great save. I don't think he had
near post, right hand.
Yeah, phenomenal save. I mean, it's on our feed, right? It's on our feed, that moment. So,
yeah. Okay. Rohan, you've already, I think, called him out. He's given him an 8, CS and a great save. Right. Meet Mehta gives him a 9. Sahil gives him a 9. Curl, actually some high ratings in there, man. 8.5, 8, 9, 9 are the first 4 ratings itself. Yeah. So maybe let's settle at 8 for Dean Henderson. What say?
Yeah, I started with 8, so I'm happy with that.
All right. Just a second. Pundits. Yeah. Okay. So we give Dean Henderson an 8. Let's start with right back. Spider-Man is back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
He was good, man. He was good attacking as well. I thought he was playing number 10 for most times. I don't know. 7.5-ish because final ball still lagged somewhere. 7.5 for me.
Chat, what do you guys think of Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Keep the comments incoming. I'm going to give him a 6, dude. And I did think, I thought he was good, But on the contrary, I thought his attacking wasn't so great once again, and he defended. So I'm not going to say he was bad. Maybe I am being a little critical because his chat history, not his chat history, his internet browsing history has not been too great over the last 5 games.
Yeah.
And I've recently come off reading a lot of articles on him. I'm going to give him a 6. I didn't think he imposed himself too much in the game. Like, I like what Manchester Evening News said about him, Karan. They said Aaron Wan-Bissaka needs a reminder that he's not playing for Crystal Palace anymore. A bit too harsh, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think a bit too harsh. So he didn't have anything to do defensively. And I think he attacked well. Like, he found himself in really good positions. Yes, I agree. The final ball still didn't come in, especially when you had the likes of Igalo yesterday to aim at.
Yeah.
I think the final ball was lacking, but he's created a lot of great play. I think he got a lot of touches in the box. He created some nice intricate passes around there. So I'm going to stick with a 7.5-ish from him. And I think chances are like a little here and there. Some are 6, some are 7.
Pratik Relan says 7. Tackles were good. Final ball lacking.
Yeah.
That's classic AWB, if you ask me.
Yeah. There's a couple of
Jaju says
there,
8, though. Looked a lot more comfy with the ball. What else are you reading?
Yeah, Aniket says 8. United Star give him 7. Meet says 8. It's it's a little everywhere, I guess.
Prashant says 6 again. I think he agrees with me. He says cramped at final third and Ole kept shouting to attack and the man wasn't even tested on the left-hand side. Yeah, well, fair enough. Let's keep going. AWB. Shivam Shah, agree, but then nothing better than Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Fair enough, but let's not talk about Fosu-Mensah. It has nothing to do with this game. But I see where you're coming from when you say that, in the sense that he's still better than what we saw last week against Crystal Palace. Manan Baga says attacking needs to be better. Abhay is a little concerned, man. All okay, Karan?
Yeah, all okay. It's
okay.
The weather, sir. It's the weather. But I mean,
I'm going to put a question to you, Karan. Sorry, finish.
No, go on.
Meet Mehta says, do you think we need a natural right winger to support Aaron Wan-Bissaka?
For sure, dude. 100%. Yesterday, who did he have in front of him? Mata, I guess?
He had Mata. Or Lings, whoever you consider as 10 versus 8.
So that obviously does make somewhat of a difference, right? I mean, you need someone to sort of help you with those overlap runs. When you're going down there, you're saying the fullback needs to be there. The overlap balls need to be coming in. The balls for those overlap runs need to be coming in as well. So, he definitely needs someone there to help him out. But I don't think that should take away from our rating. But as a longer run, he does need someone to help him out. You look at those right-wing combinations of like Gary Neville and Beckham and stuff like that, right? You need two to dominate that wing and not just one.
Yep, fair enough. All right, so that was Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Let's come to Captain Fantastic, Harry Maguire. My take, Karan, I'd give him a 7 because I thought he did nothing wrong. Slightly more imposing, commanding, but that's my problem with him, right? Against the Luton Town, he looks bigger, he performs better. I want to see these performances in the bigger games, but I'm not comparing this, or I'm not biased by that thought. I just thought he didn't do much wrong, and much like Henderson, I thought he was vocal, and 7 out of 10. What do you make? What does chat make, and what do you make?
Yeah, same. I'm not going to add much because I agree with that. I think that's a fair point to just cover.
And I like that one shot he took. He cut, and took a shot.
And he scored a similar goal in the FA Cup last year.
Banger, if you remember.
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be a replay of that, but yeah, decent performance. As you said, good commanding.
Didn't do much wrong.
Need to see this against bigger teams.
True. Let's see what the chat thinks, man. Guys, what do you all think of Maguire? So Shivam Shah 12 says Maguire was consistent in his play, tried going forward, so 7.5. Satam says 6.5. Manan says he attacked more than he defended.
Yeah, barely had anything to do.
What do you make of Pratik Relan's comment? He's given him a 7, but he said, has he become slower and more confused about passing?
I don't think so. I think yesterday, in general, we had a problem about moving the ball too slow. Also because we didn't feel the press enough. I think the game just lacked intensity the first few minutes. I think that was possibly it. I don't think I think it's harsh to judge him on one performance when he's had a great season. I think this one game can't judge him on that.
Rohan says Maguire 6 could have done better at heading in set pieces. I know they had a couple of chances via headers.
Yeah.
All the crosses came from their right or their left.
Yeah.
From Brandon Williams' left. Came from our right, yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying this for a while, man. Maguire during our set pieces attacking needs to do well. When you compare him to the likes of Van Dijk's and all, where his transfer fee goes up, and when you call him the best centre back in the world, he needs to step up there. He needs to be doing better from set pieces attacking wise, and I've been saying that even last season. It's a one thing where I think he's still lacking for us.
So I think by and large, a 7 is what everyone's going at. I can see 7.5, 6. Actually, no, 6.5 because a lot of people actually giving him 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.5, 6.5, and a few of us giving him a 7. So let's settle at about 6.5, 7 for Harry Maguire. So in up to, well, given his standards, slightly below par, if you know what I mean,
Yeah,
you know, from
yeah,
a
yeah,
against the Luton Town for a captain of Man United. So I'd be worried if I was Harry Maguire, honestly, listening to this, if
yeah,
ever.
yeah, yeah.
Right. Coming to my favorite player of the game. I'm not saying man of the match, but my favorite player of the game.
Yeah.
Favorite for two reasons. One, I didn't see Lindelof, so there only he won brownie points. Two, Eric Bailly. You know what I love about Eric Bailly? He bosses games, dude. He's not gonna come in and with Eric Bailly, you know, it's you'll never see a game where he's playing a traditional centre back role, safe. He likes to live on the bloody edge. He's a daredevil centre back. And yesterday I thought he bossed it. He likes to do those Cruyff turns and those 360s inside his deep. That's him, and that's what I love about him. 8 out of 10 for me, man. Eric Bailly. What about
Yeah,
you?
eight for me as well. And I think that's the thing with Eric Bailly. You have, sorry, something up.
Let me have a sip of water on your end. Huh.
Yeah. He has those games where either he's bossing it, he's doing this. He has his attitude is there, right? He never goes a game like this. His attitude comes in where, you know what, I'm going to be a flair centre back. I don't even know what sort of
Yeah.
position I am, but he is a centre back with flair.
Yeah.
So eight for me. Only thing with Bai is because he comes with that mentality, he sort of sometimes goes up and down. When he has two great games, in his third game, he'll be like, wait, what was he thinking? You know? But I just hope that he can put this consistent performance in because obviously Lindelof is just not cutting it. So hopefully Bai can put in good string of performances week in, week out.
I love what Optimus is saying. He echoes my sentiment. He says 8 needs to start against Brighton. Completely agree
Yeah.
with you, Optimus.
Yeah.
14 or 9. Ankit Senpai, Manan Baga giving him an 8. Meet Mehta a 9. Satam says, Satam Saran Maguire. Shivam says, Eric Bailly was class. When he's good, he's unbeaten. Do you think he's a confidence player, man? Like, now that he had a great game, he's going to boss it till he has the next shitty game?
No, I think every game he comes in with high confidence because which is why he does the things he does on the field. Any player with low confidence has no chance he can be doing those things on the field. I think he's a
True.
high confidence player. I think where his confidence will build is if he goes injury free for a few
Yeah.
games. I think right now he probably comes in thinking that, oh, I'm only going to get this shot, so I need to go over the top with this. Maybe he gets in a few games, he stays injury free, and he can put in consistent performances.
United Star have given him an 8, and I love it because United Star have always maintained that Lindelof is a better defender than Eric Bailly. You know, as amazing as that channel can be, I think that's one of the most deluded things one of their guys says. But I like what he's saying. He says that he was absolutely fantastic, and he also says that he agrees with you. And it's more about getting carried away in injuries. Yeah, he actually keeps telling me that it's about Eric getting injured and trying to be too flamboyant at times.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming to our left back, Karan, and this might just generate a bit of a debate on the chat. Brandon Williams, right? So, Karan, here's where I am. 6 would have been my normal rating, but I'm giving him a 7 just for the assist, for the penalty assist. Because it was first half, under pressure, attempted the run, you know, tries to get into the box. I like his intent. Gets into the box, gets the foul, draws the penalty, puts United in the lead. And for that, I'd give him that extra point and a 7. But what do you have to say?
Yeah, 6.5 for me. He didn't really. He should have done more attacking wise. You could hear almost Ole yelling at him, make that overlap, make that overlap. He'd just come till there and he'd stop. I think it's a confidence thing because he's like, you know what, I need to just protect my back more than I need to do going up front. But it's games against such teams where he needs to step up and just do that extra bit. And I don't think he did that.
Yep. What does the chat think? Take it away if you can read them. Let me just go up. Okay. Karan, maybe I'm going to let you go after this. You should give your throat a bit of a rest.
Yeah, clearly. I also need to get to babysitting duties and lunch duties now. So I will be saying bye after we wrap up defense.
Yeah. So Manan Bagga gives him a 6, Meet Mehta 6.5. Vaibhav Jaju is echoing something that you and I have said often in the past, which is he maybe should not be playing at left back. Probably hinting that he's more of a right back. Dembele, in terms of injuries, he's still on Eric Bailly, fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to be careful when you play against, okay, 6 out of 10 says
Six,
Optimist,
five,
played out of
6, 5 is
position.
chat completely. Yeah, man, it's
Who's
crazy.
given him a 5? Oh, Pratik Relan.
Yeah. Van de
Okay,
Beek found him
okay.
in good space, where fullback. Yeah, exactly what I was saying, right? Like he wasn't making those forward runs, even though players were finding that space for him.
Fair enough. And overall, Karan, if you were to give our defense a rating, what would you give them? And then I'll let you go after this.
7 did the job. Didn't do much attacking wise though, which is why it stays at a 7. The fullbacks didn't do much. The centre backs didn't get any headers and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So 7.
fair enough, fair enough. Karan, take care of your throat, man, and we'll see you on the next live, which is pre-match against Brighton. Thanks for
Yes,
joining
sir.
us via Football Pundits, and I'll see you next time, buddy.
See you guys.
All right, guys, I'm back alone, which is not the point of this entire thing. So keep sending those video requests. I'm going to add someone immediately on, and let's start rating the midfield, okay? If you guys can join me in rating the midfield, that would be amazing. Right, I did promise Sign XYY15 that I'd accept your request. Sign, I'm accepting your request. Do join because it is your first time. So if you're still watching, I have accepted your request. I'm hoping that you're still watching so that you'll come on. Otherwise, we'll bring someone else on. All right. Let's talk about the midfield, guys. Let's talk about the midfield. Overall, I thought our midfielders were better than the defenders. I'm strictly talking about Fred, Matic, and Jesse Lingard. I'm going to classify Mata in the front three because he had a very advanced role yesterday. Sign XYY, you were really excited at the start of the chat, but you seem to have disappeared. So, too bad, buddy, but maybe join us next time. I did accept your request, and you are not there. So, your loss, man. I'm really sorry. All right. I'm going to bring on Aniket7. Aniket, if you're watching, I'm going to bring you on. Right. Aniket, I've accepted your request. There you are.
Hi.
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Going good, going good.
Did you watch the game last night?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Aniket, can you turn around? There's too much light behind you.
Yeah, sure.
For those of you watching, by the way, all our chats, all our Insta lives now get archived on our YouTube channel, so you can rewatch the entire live once again, which is why we request our guests to just look thoda decent so that, it goes on our channel. Aniket, much better, man. So let's get straight into midfield. Let's start with Fred. What did you make of Fred last night?
Fred was once again decent. The guy who likes to break the play, the one who will put defenses into pressure, most probably. But one thing that he can't do is the thing that Matic does, which ticks off, which dictates the tempo. That's what he does the best, I think, Matic. And that.
But do you expect Fred to do that? Do you think that's Fred's role? Because I've always maintained that Fred is neither Matic nor Bruno. He has a very different role.
Yes.
So, in fact, I will always say that. So, first of all, my rating for Fred is a 7. I thought he was too good last night, man. I really, really liked his performance. And also, it's very evident, dude, he's too good a player to be playing Carabao. No disrespect to the Carabao Cup, and he needs match fitness. But, dude, Fred should be playing Premier League games, man. Like,
Yes.
I feel he should be getting more minutes.
I think he's best when you ask him to put pressure on the team. He's best at that.
Yeah.
When you ask him to go onto a player and put a pressure, win the ball back, that's what he's best at. And I think if we come up against teams who sit behind and put a low block, I think that's where we need to change the dynamism of the midfield.
Yeah.
That's where Fred won't work. But yes, when the teams are coming at us like City last season or let's say Liverpool, he was brilliant in those games.
Yep. I'm going to read a few comments, and Aniket, and then I'm going to ask you a question that someone has asked us on the chat. I'll just read a couple of comments before that. So, United Star gives him a 7.5. Stretford Way has given him a 7. Rohan has given him a 7. Meet has given him a 7. So, everyone largely going on 7. My question to you is something that Vaibhav is asking. Is it just me, or is Matic too important for the team to work? Do you agree with this statement?
Yes. Because I think Bruno and Pogba only work because of Matic. He's the one who dictates the midfield. He's the one who controls the tempo. And if Matic isn't there, which we saw in the first game, our whole
Yeah.
midfield looks lost.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Exactly
true.
to do. Pogba can't do the things that Matic does, and Bruno is. You can't put him in a CDM role or ask him
No,
to
no chance.
pull the tempo.
Fair enough. So we'll move on from Matic. A lot of people saying 7. I think broadly 7 seems to be the right rating. Although Prashant Nair says 8 because he brought energy to a dead midfield and passed the ball and started a couple of good moves. Fair enough. What was your rating, Aniket, for Donny van de Beek?
He's great, man. He's great. I think he's the one player whose off the ball movement is exceptional. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll make space for other players always, and he loves to make those little triangles, which is important.
Yeah.
The last season Ajax did that, and when Ajax reached that Champions League semi-final, I guess the whole base of Ajax's play is those 3 triangle games,
True, true, true.
and Donny is very brilliant in that. So if
Aniket, just a second. Just a second. I love that you're saying this, man. And there are a lot of, there might be a lot of fans here who don't understand what you mean by that triangle play at Ajax, because I think it's a beautiful point. So just elaborate a little more on that so that everyone gets context.
So making triangles is what makes other players get involved. So he's always constantly on the move, which makes it better. Always keeps the defenders on their toes, and he finds those little pockets in behind the midfielders and in front of the, which makes it easier for the midfield and the strikers to get connected.
Correct.
And the triangle is good because as a defender, you can keep an eye maybe on the player or match 2 players, but you can't keep an eye on the third player as well, which is why Don is very brilliant in that role.
Which is what I love about this Ajax system, right? It's so much discipline in the way the discipline they inculcate in their players is insane, dude. Because to constantly orchestrate the triangle, see, he's not fitting in the triangle; he's orchestrating the triangle. You need to have positional awareness, and that's what Van de Beek brings in, right? He keeps looking at, okay, what are the 2 sides where I can create that natural angle for the triangle, which is why a lot of people say that, yeah, Van de Beek itna aage khelta hai. Aage khelta hai because that's his awareness of everyone's positions, right?
What made for. That is what he's made for.
True, true, true. Good stuff. I'm just going to read a few comments, man. So Van de Beek gets an 8.5. Red Devil Nair says unlucky to get an assist. Rohan says 8. Had a lot of passion to win the ball, which I love to see. I love to see it in Fred. Meet Mehta says he's better at number 10. Meet, I disagree, man. Because if he goes to number 10, then you're cutting out a large chunk of his game, which is to actually, like Aniket said, which is to create the triangle. If you put him on the 10, he's automatically the tip of already 2 triangles of 2 CDMs behind him. Yeah. So it's not his role to play in the 10, in our opinion. He makes space, like knows how to play football, unlike some other players that we have, says United Star. So by and large, Aniket, everyone giving him an 8, 8.5. I'm going to leave you with one question, man. Was he your man of the match? If not, who was your man of the match?
I feel Jesse. Jesse he looked like he wanted to prove something. He wanted to prove a point yesterday. And the only thing lacking was he didn't get a goal, which is sad. But yeah, that was an improvement from Jesse. We saw the real Jesse, which we saw 2-3 years back, taking the ball, taking on defenders, moving into space, trying to create something.
So what rating would you give Jesse Lingard?
Jesse, I'll give 8, a solid 8.
Solid 8. I'm going to continue this Jesse Lingard conversation with our next person tuning in. Aniket, thanks so much, man. It's a pleasure chatting with you. See you on the next live. All right, guys, it's finally happened. I think Ollie has cracked the code. Put Jesse Lingard for sale, get a bid in, and bring out his bloody best. Satam says it the way Tanmay Bhatt would, which is Lingardinho OP. And I love the way that you've brought that out. But guys, I agree with him on the performance. I don't think he was man of the match. I still personally felt Donny van de Beek was man of the game. But because I'm also I'm a sucker for flair, and I love the way Van de Beek was doing those dummies and those fakes. Mata almost scored, through one of them. But let's rate Jesse Lingard. Pratik, Relan gives him a 6. Pratik, I'd love to have you join us live and explain why you're giving him a 6, man, because that's a very low rating. I have also given Jesse a 7.5. I thought he was really, really, really good. But let me bring on my next person who can join us, and then we will get going. All right, Aditya Dhawan, if you're watching, Aditya, I've accepted your request. Welcome to the MUSCM live. We'll just wait for Aditya Dhawan to join us. And Aditya, hi, can you see us?
Yeah.
Okay, super. Welcome to the MUSCM live, buddy. I think this is your first time.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. I hope you're a United fan.
What?
I hope you're a United fan.
Yeah, a big one.
Okay, super. Aditya, we archive these videos and put them on our Instagram channel. Yeah, perfect. So as long as we can see you clearly, it makes a lot of sense. Aditya, we were talking about Jesse Lingard. So did you watch the game? What did you make of Jesse Lingard last night?
Yeah, of course. So he was pretty good, I wouldn't deny that. But he's still not the player to start for us.
No, definitely. Let's talk about last night. What did you make of his performance?
I would say a 8.
Not bad.
According to his levels, it was a very good performance. We've seen his past 2 seasons. Of course, he had his personal reasons, a lot of things going on in his house.
Audition.
Yeah. But he did pretty good for his.
Okay. Nice. So you've given him a solid 8. I'm just going to read a couple of comments and then I'm going to ask you a question. Okay. So the first one is that Jesse was actually, no, screw that. Jesse Lingard gets a 7, 6.5, 7.5, 7.5. So a lot of people giving him a 7.5. Rohan says he was a little lazy and not clinical. I agree with the lazy part. I agree with the not clinical part. I don't agree with the lazy part. I thought he was everywhere.
Not lazy at all. Yeah, he was everywhere.
He was everywhere.
Technically, the 2 players who were being seen everywhere. Igalo had a very bad game. There's no denying that.
We'll come to Igalo.
Yeah. And Mata, for his age, did pretty good.
I don't know, man. Let's talk about. So let's move to our next player. We've covered Matic, Van der Beek, and Lingard, who according to me were our 3 midfielders. Lingard in the slightly number 10ish role. Let's come to Juan Mata, bro, because you brought him up. Because I think you and I are going to have very different opinions. Bro, I thought Mata proved to us again last night why he is way past his United days, bro. He's way past it. Bro, he's not a United player. I thought he was very slow. He was irritatingly slow. Lacked creativity. Okay, 2-3 shot aaya uska, he scored a penalty and all, but dude, okay, let me tell you what I always believe Mata should be. I've always held Mata at the level of Bruno Fernandes. Okay, he's 30 plus. So Bruno Fernandes se 1 level niche to khel. Dude, he plays nowhere, nothing like Bruno Fernandes, man. So tell me why. Okay, so I was going to give Mata a 5 out of 10, but what is your rating and why?
I would say 6. You have to give a good rating because the person scored, even though it was from a penalty.
Okay.
But that one shot, the one that Van der Beek gave a dummy and then Mata shot that was a proper shot. He was just unlucky that the keeper was very aware of the ball.
Okay.
It was pretty centric, I would.
भाई तो point दे रहे हो उसको shot लेने के लिए. That's where we've come to with Mata. Goal मारने के लिए नहीं, shot मारने के लिए you're giving him points, यार. That's my point about Juan Mata.
I would prefer him being sold right now, but I don't think with the wages he's getting, anyone is gonna buy him. He's at 150, I guess.
He's at 130,000, man. It's a lot of money for
Why would
for
someone
Mata.
not believe with that wage?
So, yeah,
That's
true.
United.
There is a channel, bro, and that Aditya, there's a channel called United Star. Do subscribe to them on YouTube. They're really nice. Okay? The guy who runs it is a Mata fanboy. He will put Mata in his starting lineup every day. But even he is saying that Mata was bad last night. So that's saying something,
Mata was bad. There's no denying that. But his age, I'm not even expecting a lot. That's the thing.
Anyway, moving on from Mata, I think the best comment has come from Meet, who says Mata should join our coaching team, and I agree with him. Because Mata is actually very good technically, man.
Very good.
He's one of those players who is a good gentleman, good United ambassador, good values. Kya lag raha hai?
Yeah, I would of course, I would want him in our coaching team.
So, Aditya, I'm going to leave you with one last question. Overall midfield, and midfield is Lingard, Matic, and Fred. In तीनों को, what rating are you giving overall, just to midfield?
See, Matic did his role perfectly. He was the one who was controlling from the back. Fred was very energetic. Probably the best in midfield if you don't consider Van der Beek.
True.
Because you said Lingard. And Lingard, if he gets his clinicalness back, he would have had a better performance.
Fair enough. Aditya, thanks so much for joining the chat, man. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
If you want to watch this again, this will be up on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So hit subscribe and watch it again, man. And share the love. Cheers. All right, guys. So that was Aditya Dhawan, who was very impressed, obviously, with Matic and Fred from last night. We're going to add 2 or 3 more callers, and then we're going to wrap this. We still have, we've only just about got into Mata. We still have Ighalo left. And after Ighalo, we're going to rate the manager and the substitutes. So just a couple of comments I'm going to read. Shubham Mehta 36810 says he's a blue forever. He'll be at Chelsea after his playing career. That's weird. Okay. United Star says Manan Baga. No, yaar, Evra is erratic. I think Manan Baga said Evra for director of football, which is interesting. Aniket Senpai says you mean Chelsea shit. All right. I'm going to bring on Manan Baga only because I know I've brought him on a lot of times. I'm only bringing him on today. After Manan Baga, it's good to have Stratford Way back. So Stratford Way guys, if you all are watching, I'm going to get you guys. Manan, I'm bringing you on just for one player and for you to show off your jersey. Okay? The player you and I are going to be talking about is Odion Ighalo. So guys, everyone, let's hear it for Odion Ighalo in the chat. I want to know what you guys thought of Ighalo. And Manan, let's rate Ighalo and let's see what you thought. I'm going to open with my rating.
I love the fact when you said to show off my jersey.
Bhai, you bought a new jersey for yourself. Okay, Manan, model the new jersey for us, man. Model it for us. Come on, show it. Oh, fantastic. Show us the sleeve. Is it a Champions League sleeve?
Yeah. So Adidas can custom it if you call them separately and you can ask them to put on the badges and all. I even got my name printed in the back. They always give you options for customizations.
Is there a way we can see it? Maybe not.
Don't
worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Ek kaam kar, baad mein photo bhej, we'll put it up on we'll put it up on our stories on MUSCM Mumbai.
Yeah. Done. I'll send you the picture.
Super stuff. So Manan, thank you first of all for talking to me about the game a little earlier today, because as you were aware, I kept sleeping.
Yes. You slept and I sent you, I think I sent you the text at night only, bro, Henderson saved.
Yeah. And I saw it in the morning.
At night. I never miss any United match. Even when I'm traveling, I have it on my app. I have it on anywhere in my phone, but I never miss any United match. Never, ever.
Fair enough, bro. Anyway, coming to last night's game. So chat has already gotten into it. I'm going to open with Ighalo's rating. I'll give him a 5. All I'm going to say, Manan, is I feel bad for him, bro. I wanted to say, bhai, tu kya kar raha hai? Like, come on, Ighalo. Like, this team, you belong to this team. Tera attitude sahi hai. He's got everything. Performances, man. What do you make of Ighalo?
I think, you see, I was about to give him a 5, but I don't think it's his fault. Because if you play him, because he doesn't get a lot of chances. Look, he comes to the team in the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes. And then he gets one match out of what 5 matches to start. And then you need to be, when you play regularly with the kind of team we have, I mean, the team we have, I think, are too fast for him. He's a little slow in reacting. He's a little slow in getting to the ball, getting into those positions. And our team, the current team we have with Van de Beek, Fernandes, Greenwood, I mean, they get into the places very soon. They get into positions very soon. So I think he doesn't match with their wavelengths currently. And I don't think it's his fault. The more games you play him, the more comfortable he will be with them. So I think, I mean, yeah, training se bahut farak padta hai, but then it's about how many matches you start him in. I mean, it's not his fault. But I think...
I don't know, man. Then he's in the wrong team. I'll tell you why. He's not going to get those starts with Rashford playing on his left and James or Mason playing on his right unless Martial gets injured, right? That's
the reason he was a hit. That's the reason he was a hit when Rashford was injured. When he came on, he played like he belonged to this team like forever. But then uske baad suddenly he stopped getting games and all. Now he gets into those games where, you know, ya to B team hai. I mean, yesterday it was our second team, to be frank. I mean, except a few players. It was Lingard, Mata, it was
Yeah,
I mean, all
definitely.
these players surrounded by him.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
so I think, या तो उसको B team के साथ खिलाते हैं, या फिर उसको last के 10 minutes में बोलते हैं. So, I think it's a little harsh on him, but he could have done better. Obviously, surely he could have done better. I mean, he didn't even have a shot for a striker.
I'm going to read a few
that
comments, man, and let's react to some of the comments coming in. Harshal gives him a 2. Optimist says 5. Josh King incoming. Josh King instead of Ighalo? No, man.
I would rather make Anthony Elanga a striker than buying Josh King at this moment.
But United Star have also given him a 2. Varun is given a very tongue-in-cheek comment. Ighalo played yesterday?
Yeah, actually, it was not
a lot of people saying Ighalo who, Igha go. Okay, question to you, man. Ighalo, time up. Thank you for your services. We love you too, but bye-bye, or still has some time?
I think he has some time, because last season he didn't do a lot of things like making runs and shit, but he finished, man. I mean, if you give him the ball, he is going to finish for you. But the thing is, he has to win the balls. He has to be in that attacking position.
Sure.
There are a few matches like the one against Aston Villa, the pre-season, which I thought that people weren't supplying him enough. He was in good positions, but people weren't supplying him enough. So that's where I felt कि भाई उसको ball तो दे दो तुम. He's making runs, you're not picking up the pass. But yesterday, I think he should have done more. He should have been available to those places, where he can receive the pass, take the ball. He needs to be there. But he's one hell of a finisher. He has shown it to us. He's one hell of a finisher.
So, Manan, I'm going to leave you with one last question. Final rating for our forwards, which is Jesse Lingard, Jesse Lingard and Ighalo. And Juan Mata. Yeah, Mata, Lingard, Ighalo. Final rating for our forwards.
I think Mata would be a 6. Jesse Lingard
overall,
would be...
United's attack, I meant. Like United's attack. How much would you give United's forwards rating?
Last night, the first team forwards I'd give 6.5 max to max. I can't give more than that. Because yesterday we felt that if we don't play our main players, I think they can't score. I mean, even in first half, they were phenomenal. I mean, they created a lot of chances. But then the shots weren't coming from our forwards. I mean, Matic had a shot and Van de Beek had a shot, but our forwards didn't have a shot. Jesse Lingard maybe one shot, but that's not what you want from your forwards.
Sure.
Like your midfield is doing the attacking for you and you're not even in those places. So I think 6.5 if I'm being too generous.
Fair enough.
It shows that we need a better bench.
Yeah, we've been harping about that. But Manan, thank you so much, man. I still have 3 more people to bring on and we've got about 15 minutes left.
Sure.
Thanks for your time. And send us the picture, yeah? Send it to MUSCM Mumbai on Instagram.
Yeah. I'll send the picture from the front and the back.
2-3 photo bhej, model kar and send it to us. Chal. Thank you so much, Manan.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Alright guys, 6.5 for United's forwards last night. Which begs the question, right? What would we rate our managers and what do we rate our bench? I think our bench is going to get the highest rating for tonight as a category because they just came and changed the game, right? What I liked is we saw glimpses of United at its best. Unfortunately, against the Luton Town. Hopefully that will translate now over into the Premier League sides. Aniket Senpai says, make a live session purely dedicated to our performance at the transfer market. Bro, Aniket, I think you've just joined us, man, because before the season started, all our lives were about transfer market, man. All of them. You can still watch it on our IGTV. Go ahead and see some of the lives that we've done before this. Right, overall, they've given us 6, 6, 6, 7, 6, 4 for attack. I liked some of the comments that had come in for Ighalo. I'm just going to read them. So, Manan D, who's Manan Baga's namesake, says, let's not be too critical of Ighalo. He's not a regular, not even a rotational player. He can hit those screamers. Let pre-season progress. Let the season progress and you'll see. And Aniket Senpai agrees with him. I agree with you too, man, because I genuinely like him. Alright, Stratford Way says, Abhishek Goldbridge ka rant chahiye. Nahi bhai, pre-season is over. I promised you guys I won't be ranting too much anymore. I'll try and cut it down. Okay, let's come to the Stratford Way. Stratford Way, I have accepted your request. Let's discuss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. By the way, guys, the Stratford Way is another channel that you guys can follow. He was on the United Stands live as well. My first question to you.
Namaskar.
My first question to you. Are you happy of being here or were you happy of being on United Stand?
Huh? I'm at both of the places here. Afternoon 2:30 I'm there, and now I'm here. I love being
Fantastic.
at both of the places.
High five. So, bro, you obviously watched the game last night, and I've seen you've been on the chat as well. हमने defense और midfield और forwards का तो rating कर दिया है. Now let's talk about the overall two things I want to ask you. One, what did you think of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, his tactics and his team selection? And two, what did you think of the way that we played overall the game? So start with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, man.
Okay, first learned that we might end up playing a slow game, which happened, which I personally felt happened till the three substitutes came on. I felt we should have scored at least 3 in the first half. There were 3 easy chances which we should have scored. Okay, but then I think it was Luton and maybe reserves go. We basically played our reserves, and I was a little worried, but at the end I was okay. Talking about substitutes, Ole did a fantastic job bringing the 3 substitutes on, because first game, like we saw at Palace, they lacked sharpness, and today today only. Today I could see.
Wait, before you go to the bench, what rating did you give Oli, in case I missed it?
No, I didn't give. I'd give him a solid 7.5. 7.5.
Okay, so let's stick to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right now, because there are a few comments that have come in. So, Satam says Ollie's substitution timing is shit. Wanted to see Terran Mengi play. Okay, we'll talk about Mengi separately later. 8 says Optimus 1409, man. He says Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to stay. Bhai, हम कहाँ बोल रहे हैं Ole out?
Of course. Yeah, Ole. I mean, he has to say. I'm Olean from day one.
Absolutely. Right, so let's move to our bench. Now, before you talk about each individual player, man, here's my irritation, right? If we had better squad depth, we wouldn't have needed to play Rashford, Bruno, and Mason. We should have rested them, dude, in this game. Like, this is what irritates me, right? Now, Saturday, all 3 are going to start again. And they've had to come on and not only play, but they've had to put in match-winning performances. Bruno should have scored, got unlucky with not scoring, but had a phenomenal game, ran the show. Marcus finally, only positive I'll take from Marcus is hopefully thoda confidence is up. But dude, imagine we had, I know transfer market is over, and I think it's because it's you and, you've brought out the goal bridge in me. I think, imagine we had better substitute. Imagine we had Jack Grealish. Imagine we had those players. We would have finished this game, man.
Yeah. I mean, if we had signed Alex Telles on probably earlier this week, because personally for me, I love Brandon Williams. I think he should be a right back, but the drop off from Luke Shaw to Brandon Williams is just too much. Like, so many times he got the ball in the wing, he had to switch his foot to get the cross in, and that would delay. Whereas if Luke Shaw was there, he would have got the ball left foot, Seedha inside. Okay, so that was one problem. That's one big problem Brandon Williams has, and that is why we need Alex Telles, because I've been watching his highlights for the past few days. Okay, because I'm so happy we're going to sign him and all. I hope we sign him.
What highlights, bro? YouTube will deceive you into thinking he's Roberto Carlos, man.
That's also actually one problem. कि सब लोग अच्छा games दिखाएंगे, but I've not seen the negative side of him. But with what I've seen, I'm very happy with him coming. I hope he comes to the club. And that's why we need Alex Telles. Yesterday Brandon Williams showed us why he's not a left back and he is a right back. And that's why we need players like Alex Telles, and we need a good squad depth. Because had let's say something happened to if Van der Beek had not come in, and let's say something happened to Pogba or someone, then who would he look at? Who would Ole look at on the bench? But Andres Pereira. That would be a massive drop off. And Van der Beek is giving me the same vibes I had when Bruno Fernandes first came in. I was so happy with the way he played.
True. My final question to you, therefore, we saw a lot of new faces playing in this game. Any of them impressed you enough to warrant a start against Brighton away? Fred, Matic, any of them?
I think Matic should definitely start, and I think this player's on everyone's mouth, and I think Eric.
But when we did the Crystal Palace review, it was unanimous that our best player in that defeat was McTominay. So you're saying Matic did better than what McTominay did, and Matic should replace him?
No, but personally, I was not really happy with McTominay because I have never seen him as a CDM. Okay, I think it's Matic and Fred who should operate that place, and because McTominay is more box to box, I think he should not play CDM again because we did this last season also.
D just said Dean Henderson should start ahead of De Gea and Van der Beek should also start. So I'm just going to put this final question to you, man. What is your starting lineup for Brighton away? First look.
Brighton, full first squad. Bruno, Pogba, Matic in midfield, David De Gea in goal definitely because this game did not really test Dean Henderson. He didn't have. I mean, except that say. I mean, one thing I really liked. Dean Henderson did not have to do anything throughout the game, but yet he was conscious enough to know कि हाँ save करना है, and he was extremely vigilant during that save. And I was very, very, very happy with that.
Who are your defenders for Brighton away?
Defenders, Shaw, Maguire, Bai and Wan-Bissaka because...
So Bai is the first change that you've identified. You're saying, Bai and Matic. And up front, I'm guessing, and up front, Martial, Rashford and Mason.
And if we sign Jadon Sancho somehow by tonight, then probably Jadon Sancho or Greenwood.
So no shouting for Lingard ahead of Mason for the next game, just as a punt because of his performance? No.
So for me, I don't think this game really tested Jesse Lingard. I think he needs to perform under Premier League teams. Okay, when he's playing Premier League teams, he needs to perform in those games. Okay, only then can I say, okay, his game has improved. Like that goal against Leicester wouldn't have happened if Kasper Schmeichel had not passed the ball to him. Okay.
True.
I mean, I see he's being more passionate about. I mean, he's always been passionate about the club, but I just see compared to last season, towards the end, I think he was giving a little more to the club than he was giving the rest of last season. I think he should. If we are going on a good run of games, I think one game against a PL side, if he plays well, then will I say, okay, Jesse Lingard has stepped up his game, and I think he deserves a start in one of the games, and then slowly. But right now, I don't think Luton Town tested Jesse Lingard because I used to rate him, but last season...
Sure. Cool.
Not that much.
Cool. So that's a wrap on our player ratings, guys. I'm just going to quickly round up everything that we've spoken about. Stretford Wade, thank you so much once again, man. Pleasure to have you on the chat. We will tag you on our post. And if you want to rewatch this, you can obviously go to our YouTube page tomorrow and this will be up and all of that. So share the love, share the hope, and see you at Brighton pre-match. So guys, that was the Stretford Way. Check out that channel. Pretty cool if you're a United fan. Vatsal Tyagi, A, welcome to the MUSCM Live. I don't think I've seen you before. And B, you're actually rating Lindelof. This is definitely the first time you're watching me on MUSCM Live because I have always maintained, forget Man United dude, Victor Lindelof is not a footballer. And I hate to say it because I love every player who plays for United and I like Lindelof as a human being and whatever his friendship with Pogba, but dude, he is crap, dude. Lindelof is not a starting centre back for Man United, but enough said about that. Alright guys, so key takeaways from today. I think some impressive first games or first starts for a lot of our boys in red. Dean Henderson making an interesting and a very exciting debut for Man United. I thought Fred was one of our better players and it's good to see him get so many minutes on the clock. Pranav2401, good to see you too, buddy. Shout out to you, man. I hope you keep coming for our lives. Right, Matic, a lot of y'all saying Matic should start ahead of McTominay for the next game. Fair enough. And yeah, I think some of the glaring issues to address, right? I think squad depth is not there with this side. We need to go out and sign more players. We need to sign better players who can sort of elevate the overall profile of this club and really help us compete for what we believe is going to be a very challenging season for the remainder of it, right? I'm just going to say 2 or 3 more things and then we're going to wrap this MUSCM Live with all of y'all today. The first one being, we do have a YouTube channel now. We're actively building it out. So please go to MUSC Mumbai on YouTube and do subscribe. Show us some love. In addition to that, guys, massive announcement. The working team, we're looking for people to join our working team and help contribute with social media. So if you are an official member of the Manchester United Supporters Club of Mumbai. If you know a little bit of social media, hit us up on Instagram DM, and we'd be happy to consider your application, and we'll announce who we'd like to sort of get in by next week. So on behalf of MUSCM, guys, my name is Abhishek Iyer, your host for MUSCM Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you all again for Brighton away. So see you at pre-match. Till then, chill, take care.